It's no secret that Endwalker has its fair share of critics, but typically those criticisms are aimed at the patch content in particular, as most people seem to love 6.0 Endwalker. Critiques like Island Sanctuary is bad, relics are bad, Criterion Dungeon rewards are bad, and this is my favorite one, MSQ is filler. Sure, having any of these opinions are completely valid, and I can definitely see where people are coming from. Hell, I kind of agree with some of them. But the one that I take the most issue with is people calling the MSQ patches filler, because every time I see this critique come up, I feel like I have to remind people that we are dealing with Final Fantasy XIV here. This is a game that is known for wrapping up their storylines expansions later. There are multiple examples of this throughout the game. The most notable one that most people point out is the Warriors of Darkness. During the Heavensward patches, we are introduced to the Warriors of Darkness, people from another world who came to fuck shit up in order to hopefully save their own planet. In terms of the Heavenward storyline, this makes almost no sense in the grand scheme of things. Right before this, we ended the Dragon Song War, and right after we move on to the buildup of Stormblood. The Warriors of Darkness in patch 3.4 made zero sense. I mean, I found Reddit posts of people complaining about how they think the Warriors of Darkness storyline was poorly handled. The Warriors of Darkness didn't make any sense until a full expansion cycle later in patch 4.4. Even then, it was just considered speculation that the Warriors of Darkness had anything to do with the voices inside of the Warrior of Light's head. In hindsight, we now look at the Warriors of Darkness patch in Heavensward as something that is very important to the MSQ, or that is at least relevant. Now, relating this back to Endwalker patch MSQ, it is my belief that we just went through the exact same thing. I have no doubt in my mind that the Void arc that we went through will come back in full force at a later date. I doubt it will happen for Dawntrail, but I would not be surprised if 8.0 or 9.0 is entirely about restoring the 13th, and even potentially the 1st as well. Literally everything is right there. All the setup is done at this point. When someone asks, is the MSQ filler, they are asking the wrong question. What they should be asking is, when won't it be filler? The writing team also did this for the Heart of Sabik. The Heart of Sabik seemed to be a very important aspect of the MSQ back in A Rome Reborn, but then they completely threw it to the side for the rest of the game, and basically never bring it up again until Pandemonium and Endwalker. I feel like at this point, if you still think that Endwalker MSQ patches are still just filler, then I think you have no faith in the Final Fantasy XIV writing team. Which, if you don't, then fair enough, I guess. I mean, I would definitely disagree with you because so far the writing for every expansion has not let me down yet. I think there's a quote that goes like, the past is the best predictor of future behavior. Einstein? Maybe? Or no, wait. Was it Dr. Phil? Fuck, I don't remember. Anyway, I can totally understand why for many people, the Endwalker patches felt like filler. 6.0 Endwalker was the final period at the end of a long story. Up until that point, it felt like everything was building up to Endwalker. And now you are in this aftermath of a story that's already been ended, and you can't really build up to a huge dramatic climax anymore, and you can't really start a brand new 10-year story arc during a patch cycle, because I think the developers would probably think that's not the right time to do it. So I believe the writing team was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, so I think they had to write something that could be accomplished in 5 patches and circled back to at a later date. I mean, Yoshi P himself warned us beforehand that these patches will be different from patch cycles from previous expansions. Okay, so I will present to you one last argument. The patches have more to do with the MSQ than you remember. By the end of 6.0, we saved the universe from total annihilation. That doesn't mean that there aren't plot threads that could be wrapped up in the patch content. Like, what is Garlemald going to do for the future of their country? How is Thavnir going to recover from the destruction they endured during the final days? And since the final days are over, what is old Charlian's purpose? And what the fuck are they going to do with all those bunnies? The patches answer, well, they at least answer half of those questions. I think. We spend multiple patches in Thavnair helping them build an orphanage for children whose parents died during the final days. In Garlemald, we help them get back up on their feet and take a step towards being able to handle themselves without outside aid. We almost help mold how potentially their government and their people will perceive the rest of Eorzea. And there are many more plot threads that tie directly into Endwalker. For example, Heidel's gift is the reason we got Zero in the first place. And then through talking to her more, we get a better understanding of Xenos as a character, especially his state of mind during Endwalker, about how he probably genuinely saw us as a friend. And I know a lot of people in the community won't be able to come to terms with that, but I really do think Xenos sees the Warrior of Light as a friend in a sick, twisted sort of way, and I think the developers kind of want to push a friendship with him onto us. Let's just cross our fingers and hope that he's not going to come back and he's going to stay dead. Leave him dead. His story is done, in my opinion. But we were the only ones who could relate to his lust for glorious battle, and I think the patches make that even more clear. There are tons of other things like this. I guarantee the writers wanted to make Fortuno more likable now, so they made him very agreeable in the patches. But anyway, the point is that MSQ patch quests have a lot more to do with 6.0 Endwalker than you might originally think. They just happen to be in the scenes that were less memorable. Who's going to remember that we talked about taxes when a patch later we literally get stomped by a thick mommy? Alright. Okay, so Dawntrail is releasing as of recording in just about under a week, which oh my god, where the fuck has the time gone? So I wanted to get this video out there as my general thoughts on the Endwalker patches, and just Endwalker's MSQ in general, and how I think they are incredibly underrated. Are they perfect? No. Do I have critiques for them? Yes. But honestly, this might be a hot take. I think they are better than Shadowbringers patches. Anyway, I should probably leave with that before I get murdered by the pitchforks. Make sure to patch that like button. And remember, thank your healers.